Hi guys, so I'm here today just doing this everyday go-to kind of makeup look. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you want to see how I got this look, just keep on watching. Okay, so this is the makeup I like to do when we're gonna go to the store, when we're not doing anything like in particular, when the girls go to sleep and I'm just like bored and I just have to put makeup on, but I don't have time to really play with a lot of eyeshadow or a lot of different products. So I try to keep it minimal, but I also don't just like do like a BB cream and mascara. I'd rather just like not wear any makeup. So I hope you guys enjoy this. So I'm going to prime my eyes with Painterly Paint Pot. I always use this. I've just been using it till I run out, I guess. So I just use this E22 brush and just kind of paint it on. I usually just use my finger, but I don't want to get my nail in it, so. And yes, this pinky nail broke. I always set it with some of my face powder, my MSF by MAC, and I just lightly set it. That way when you start putting shadow on it, it doesn't kind of like tug on your eye. So when I'm doing quick eyeshadow, I don't like really pull out a palette and start looking, because then I get like inspired to kind of like, oh, well, let me just use this, let me just use that. So I've learned to just use my bronzer. So I use the Kat Von D bronzer. So I just kind of go in like the first two and just kind of go in my crease. Just give it a little bit of dimension. And I'm using a M441 brush. So I just kind of go on my crease, just messily. Oh shoot. Sorry, I had a YouTube video playing in the background. Then I go on with some mascara. I'm using the Sensational, Lash Sensational by Maybelline. Just put on a tiny bit because I always put Lash, I always put falsies on. So I'm going to be using just the Duo Clear eyelash glue. And then I'm just going to place them as close to my lash line. Okay, so there are the lashes. Now I'm going to move on to the face. I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. I really love this primer. Okay, so I put this all over my face. I have a lot of texture since I have dry skin, so it helps smooth it all out. And then I'm going to be going in with the Makeup Forever foundation stick. I love this foundation stick for a lot of things. It's really versatile. You can buy the darker ones like for contour and cream contouring. And then I also like to use it to like shape out my eyebrows instead of concealer. And then you can use it like for full coverage. You can do just a little bit for just in the areas that you need it. So I really love this stuff. So it's gonna look like I put a lot on, I do. And I'm gonna be using the Morphe E6. So I kind of push and drag, kind of. I don't buff it out. I kind of like to make sure it covers everywhere I want it to cover, and then I'll buff it out at the end. And then when I buff it out, I like don't apply a lot of pressure. I just like swirl it. And it's quick and it's easy, so I like using this a lot when I'm in a rush and when I don't have a lot of time. Next, I'm going to be using the Becca Cosmetics Undereye Brightening Corrector. Oh, look at that. It's already with no concealer. Boom. So I'm going to be using Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So I'm not going to do like super, you know how I usually do with a lot of product. I'm just going to kind of focus it right here. And I'm going to be using the Morphe G8 to blend it out. Now I'm going to just like lightly bake. I don't bake for too long, even when I'm doing like full like makeup. I have dry skin, so it'll make my face look a little cakey. So I like to just go in with this Real Techniques little contour brush and just go right under the eye. Down to my nostril. So my nostrils, like, they'll kind of crease like my under eye, and then I just lightly dust it on my chin and forehead area. And then after that, I just use my MAC MSF in medium with a Morphe E3. I really love this powder. It doesn't give too much coverage, which I like, but it's not like completely translucent. Usually I use like contour sticks and like stuff like that, but when I'm just going for like everyday kind of look, I kind of don't waste my time doing that. So I'm just going to go straight in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to be using this Morphe E34. And so I kind of use it like, I'll dab it with the one side of the brush, and then I'll place it really lightly, and then I'll flip it over and buff it out with that side and the top of the brush. Like that, and it just gives you a little color on the other side. I like this brush because it's like, it's dense, but it's still soft enough to where it blends it out. So, and then I go in the darkest color really lightly and just place it at the top. And keep it back there, flip it over, and then buff it out. And when you apply bronzer and contour and blush and all that on top of your foundation and your powder, you just need to make sure that you really set your foundation and your concealer, because it can give you like splotchiness if it's not you know, dry. If it's a little damp or wet, it won't look just nice and seamless and smooth. It'll give you like splotchiness. So see how that just brings a lot of color back into my face, and I don't just look flat. Now I'm going to lightly contour my nose. I prefer to contour with the cooler toned bronzer than like the warmer one, just because it looks more natural to me. Obviously it depends on your skin tone, but I'm more of like neutral skin tone, so that's what works for me. Let's do a little blush. Let's do a pink blush. I haven't done pink blush in forever. I'll be using this old Sonia Kashuk brush that I've had for ages, and I can't find another blush brush that I like better. I do have this other Morphe one, but I still like this one better. I'm going to be using MAC's Dollymix. It just gives your cheeks like a natural flush. Don't forget to smile. And after I apply my blush and blend out all of my contouring and everything, I go back in with my powder brush and just lightly, with no product or anything, no powder. Now I'm going to be highlighting. I love to highlight when I'm doing more of a natural look because I don't want to look too matte. So I'm going to be using the Anastasia Gleam Glow Kit, this one right here. So I'm just going to put crushed pearl first. So it gives that like wet. I might just leave it like this actually. And then with these, I wouldn't recommend like tapping, like you really have to like sweep. You guys can see that. And a little on my nose. Okay, and finally I'm going to be doing my brows. I've been wanting to do a brow tutorial, but I kind of feel like since this is kind of like a shorter video, I'm just going to kind of include it in this one since my brows are not very complicated. I don't use a lot of products, so I'm just going to go ahead and include that in here. So I use the Anastasia Dip Brow in medium brown. I just use this little tiny angled brush. I got it when I was at school at Aveda, so I don't know if they still sell this or if it's for sale. I'm not sure, but Anastasia has a lot of brushes like this, so they have a few. So you just want it to be dense but thin and flexible enough to help you shape out your eyebrows. So I'm not going to do like full on really filled in brows. The only difference when I really fill them in is that I just darken them a little more and like really structure them a little bit more. But usually I just create a line underneath my natural brow and I just follow it to about halfway, and then I start pushing the product from that line upwards. See how it's already like a huge difference? And then I start making my arch. This is where I kind of wing it a little bit because my arches are different. One's a little more pointy and the other one's a little more rounded. So, but the most important thing is to follow your natural brow to begin with. And then you can start, and then once you fill it in, you can start changing the shape little by little. So, and it's okay if you kind of get messy and go outside of the brow a little bit. That's why you clean it up at the end. So, and don't forget to spoolie. See how mine looks kind of messy now, like because I spoolied and it got out of the line a little, so that's okay, we'll clean it up. So that's how you're gonna have it look the most natural, is by making sure you spoolie out the product. So my goal is just to get the general shape that I want and then fill in the end. And then elongate my tail a little bit. So now I'm going to be going in with this little Morphe brush. It's a little angled brush. It's the S6. I'm going to be using the foundation stick by Makeup Forever to shape them out. So I start at the bottom, make a line, and then drag down the product like that. And just follow your brow and then drag it down. And just tap it out with your finger like that. So in the top, I like using the foundation better than a concealer because I don't really have a concealer that's like my skin tone. It's a lot lighter because I like to use it for more brightening. So when I would use it around my brows, I feel like it would be, sorry. So when I would use it around my brows, I feel like it would be too light. So I feel like this works a whole lot better. So there's one. Okay, and there are my brows. That's all I do, and then I just kind of the crepe color in here and just kind of put it on my brow bone. And then I use the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, Clear Super Glue, Brow Glue, Super Glue. It literally smells like super glue, straight up super glue. Every time I put this up, it gets darker. And then I take this out. Okay, so I think I'm all done. So I skipped heavy shadow, I skipped eyeliner, I didn't do like heavy contouring, I just bronzed. So I'll usually go in with some chapstick or lip balm, or I'll just use Madeline Butter Gloss by NYX. So anyways, this is pretty much it. So I'm going to be going to the gym later, and so I would just like take my lashes off and go to the gym. So I'm not too worried about like having too much makeup on. I know this is a lot of makeup for some people, but for me this is just my everyday go-to kind of makeup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. So I'm going to be doing another Halloween tutorial this weekend, so keep on the lookout for that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!